the higher side of the Pac-12 awards. We were kind of talking in the newsroom this week. Would it be interesting if there was a spot for just an athlete, because the term athlete is used so much in terms of recruiting? What would you think about something like that? Maybe have
as far as awards go,
yeah.
I've seen places where they had not necessarily one, but one, first team at every position, and then one more guy, that it's good enough to be deserving of first team. And then, certainly he kind of burst on the scene. He's deserving of some kind of recognition. I think he got Player of the Week four times in a row. But I also think that's something to go for him. In the next year or two, is to try to be the first team quarterback in our league, and I think he'll work toward that.
What would, I guess, for a quarterback that's maybe mostly a running quarterback, how would they be able to, do you think, put themselves better?
Well, I don't think whether you're a running or throwing guy, that whoever the best quarterback is has the most production. And I think sometimes you get labeled as a running quarterback, but the fact I think Khalil had quite a bit of success running is because he had a chance to throw some deep balls, and he made some big plays with that with his arm.
Where are the areas that you'd like to see him improve the most over the next couple of weeks, and then in the offseason as well?
It's really just understanding the whys and wheres of our offense, and understand how people are playing us. And once he gets it. But there's so much more offense what we want to do, and it's not just him; it's some of the other guys around him. But as he grows and progresses in the program, we'll be able to do more and more things with him, which make him a more dangerous player.
I've heard the TV broadcasters talk about how you kind of started with a small piece of paper and then you kind of folded out into a bigger. Where are we at with Khalil?
A full page was folded into quarters and then sixteenths, and now we're at least maybe a quarter to half a page. And there's a lot of plays. I think we as coaches sometimes we could do too much. I think the biggest key is execution, but he wants to do more, and we have to do more scheme-wise, and as we go forward, we will.
His TD to interception ratio is 9-8, which might be a little deceiving because some of those plays were deflected balls or sort of Hail Mary type throws. But is that a statistic important to you? And what do you make of the fact that his is almost at a 1-to-1?
Yeah, I think it would be more discerning if it was those 8 were all bad decisions, and they weren't. So that number will grow, and obviously I think that's a huge. That's not a stat I look at all, but you do look at touchdowns toward turnovers, and not just interception but fumbles, and that's something that we can all get better at.
What would you say was maybe the biggest difference when you sat down and looked at the film from the defense on days when you guys were really good, and then on some of those games where you just gave up?
Defensively?
Yeah,
no, I think we got pushed around a little bit at times up front, and it's not just the defensive line, but we got displaced from our gaps a little bit. We lost some gap integrity where a guy was supposed to be in B gap and he got reached or what have you, and that's the biggest thing. We got to get stronger to hold the point up front more often. We got to have more gap integrity at times, and a lot of that's fundamentals that our guys will get better at as they grow in the system. We didn't play good defense most of the year, but we played hard, and there's some encouraging signs that I know we'll get better at.
What does it say about a guy like Derek Bowles that he's willing to push through a pretty bad ankle sprain to play in that game against ASU?
Yeah, he's a tough guy, and he loves football. He's got a great attitude, and he's an athletic big guy, which we need, and we need more of that. And thankfully he's here. He's given us some good football, and again, it's his first year. It's almost like he's a freshman. His first year in the system, and I expect a big year out of Derek next year.
You guys worked out in here today versus the other two?
Yeah, they were trying to give the grass a little break. We're having a hard time getting the grass to grow. It's usually in great shape, but it'll get chewed up with 120 guys running around there every day. So we went light practice today. Tomorrow we'll go back out there in full pads and probably have a little scrimmage with the young guys again.
Was Rookie Bowl 1? Was that yesterday?
Yeah, Rookie Bowl 1. It was interesting. I let the seniors call the plays on both sides, and they took a lot of ownership. I questioned some of their play calls, so I got on them a little bit. We had a couple delay of game penalties, which was really bad coaching. So I was on the seniors about that, but I think they want to do it again. So we'll probably have another version of the two before we.
Do you have enough rookies who?
Yeah, we're counting. Yeah, it's not just we have some upperclassmen that maybe are second team or third team, and they had a lot of fun. But when everything's live, when the quarterback is live, the intensity picks up a little bit.
Right. So what have you been able to see out of Donovan Tate, Rhett, Kari Lane this week that maybe you weren't able to see when they're just doing
Yeah,
scout team
and
stuff?
I had Donovan and Rhett didn't take reps in the Rookie Bowl yesterday or the other day, but they will tomorrow. And they have a pretty good grasp because they've been down with the varsity, whatever you want to call it, the travel squad all season. They're pretty much in tune with what we're doing scheme wise.
Okay, so the punting situation obviously wasn't good at the end of the year. What have you seen out of those guys? What's been the emphasis?
The first start is let's catch the punt, let's catch the snap first, and then kick it, and then we got to progress from there. And it's frustrating because those guys have the ability to do it, and they're athletic enough. But I think sometimes mentally it just you forget all your fundamentals. So really, that's no different than any other position. You got to get fundamentally better as far as catching the ball and their footwork and the ball placement when they kick it. And we got capable guys. But that being said, we're repping other guys too. Matt Aragon's going to have a chance to win that job before the bowl game as well.
So Trevor Wood played on defense a little bit in the game the other day.
He's playing. That was out of necessity because of injuries, but we liked what we've seen over there. So he's playing both in practice, but more defensively than offensively right now.
So could you see that being his position next year? Or
it might be.
How does he feel about it? I guess is another.
I think Trevor. He doesn't. Trevor is willing to do anything and everything. Every special team and all that. I think he just wants to play. But I've been encouraged by that, and I think he's athletic enough and smart enough to play both. He's been in the program a few years now, so I can envision where he has a role on both sides.
He certainly gives you size.
Yeah, and we need that. We need size and length defensively, and we're addressing that in recruiting. And I think we'll be so much bigger and better up front as with this next recruiting class.
Sure. Are you going to see Greg Byrne while he's here?
I think he called right before practice, so I don't know if he's in town or not, but
I think he's going to the game tonight. Yeah.
If he's probably wearing the wrong colors, and so he's going to have to stand in a tunnel.
So you can't be seen around town with someone in like an Alabama gear, basically, or?
Well, you can be seen with him, but not cajoling too much with the enemy, so to speak. But no, Greg's a great guy, and I'm sure he's happy. He'll see a lot of people while he's here.
How has the early signing period changed how you guys approach recruiting just in general? And
well, there's more of a sense of urgency than ever before. Particularly now with everything going on and bowl practice. I think 70% of the athletes out there will sign on the early signing period. I could be wrong, but I'm projecting that. We're projecting most of our class to sign on the 20th. And so I think it's kind of a good thing because then, whatever spots you got left, you can concentrate on those guys, but it also makes things kind of hectic at this time of day.
Even though you have your projection, is there still sort of an element of this that's unknown because it's new and you're just not totally sure how kids are going to handle it or schools are going to handle it?
Date?
Yeah,
we've had early commitments, and to us, we've kind of viewed that the same. But as you know, we've had guys that have flipped late, and that's where it creates a lot of issues. So I think this will eliminate a lot of that. I think, again, I go back to we shouldn't have any signing period. They sign anytime they want. But I do think this would clean up some of the late signing or late January flips. And I think that's a good thing for college football.
If a kid is committed right now to you guys but doesn't sign,
he ain't committed. Yeah, if a kid's committed to us, verbally committed, and he don't sign, but he ain't committed to us. So that means we're not committed to him, I guess.
And in terms of just visits, obviously you normally would have a lot of visits in January. Does that now push everything back to now this month?
Yeah, we have 11 this weekend, had 8 or 9 last weekend. Next weekend we could have some, but there's no students in, so we may just have 1 or 2. But January will be a lot less with the official visits. We'll probably have more unofficial visits than officials in January.
You guys pushed for a lot of guys to enroll mid-year. It felt like last year.
We would like to selfishly, but really it's up to the young man and his family and the school whether he can do that now. We don't have as many this year, but one of the advantages before, if they enrolled early, they were in. Now they'll at least be signed, so there's less anxiety about that.
How much did that help Tony Fields?
Oh, I think it helped him tremendously. I'm not sure. I think he would have played. I'm not sure he would have started and played as much early if he hadn't been here in January.
Those Fields, Schooler,